Is there sprinkles? Sprinkles. Just sprinkles. You have sprinkles? Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so going into rejection day, honestly was feeling kind of hopeful, but also feeling really scared. I had no idea what people were gonna say. I had no idea if, for some reason, I was kind of scared that I was gonna get beat up. But obviously that didn't happen, but my anxiety in my head was just like going everywhere, all over the place. But like once we got there, once we started doing things, a lot of things and a lot of doors just started opening up. Like Sierra was able to talk to a lot of people, and like I went up to these landscapers, this is just an example, and I was asking if I could help them plant some flowers, and I seriously thought they were gonna say no. Like I was like, this is rejection day, they're gonna say no, like this is a weird thing, I'm a random person. And I went up there, I was like, can I help you plant flowers? And they were like, yeah, absolutely. And then I totally got to just stand there and plant flowers with these random 30-year-old men I've never met before. But it really taught me that there's seriously no harm in asking. Like, if you don't ask, it's obviously going to be a no. But when you ask and you give people the space to say yeah, like, a bunch of whole opportunities like open up, and anything's really possible. So, yeah.
Well, going into rejection day, I was pretty nervous, but not very alarmed. It was definitely an experience that put me out of my comfort zone, but it was something that I very much enjoyed. For example, I asked people for a cutting in a coffee shop, for a cutting of a plant, and it was kind of funny because they said no, but it was one of those things that it was just like, oh, this seems kind of natural, unlike the other ones where it definitely did not feel natural. But it was so much fun to do, and definitely enjoyable experience.
Going into rejection day, I was kind of just viewing it as like, I'm just gonna have fun today, because I like talking to random people. There's a big word called sonder, which is like every person has their own individual story, and I love that very dearly, and I like just getting to talk to people. So I thought it would be really fun, but the whole aspect of getting rejected, I was like, okay, I understand it a little bit, but I was kind of like, I don't really want to get rejected in a way, so it's kind of prideful on my own part, I guess. But the first two experiences that we had, I got rejected by a little kid because I asked for a high five. He gave me a handshake, which was very kind. But it was really rejection, and I asked the guy if I could ride in his cart, and he said no. That was also not really a rejection, but those were the only two times I got rejected, because the rest of the time, I kind of just didn't look at the rejection list and just thought it would be fun to talk to people and serve people in a way that I can, which some of my teammates weren't the most happy about that, but that's how I decided to take rejection day. I kind of expected out of the service that some people would be like, I don't want you to do this, so then I would get rejected maybe, but that didn't happen because people are kind. And so yeah, it was a really interesting day. I enjoyed the day, and I think I loved getting to talk to people in stores especially, and so people just want to be heard, and I liked being able to do that. So it wasn't as much about the rejection for me, but I got to meet some really cool people and make some connections, so it was pretty fun.
I feel like if I had known what I was going to be doing, I would be freaking out a little bit, but I felt strangely calm. I think what I thought you were going to do was like try to like offer something to someone rather than asking them for piggyback rides or trying to get hired on the spot, like what the list was telling us to do. And so when I got the list from Peter, it was like, oh no, because like for me personally, if someone came up to me and asked me to do one of those things, I would be like, no, and then just try to get out of there. My other big takeaway from the rejection day exercise came as a result of a lot of people saying yes to our questions rather than no. Like, I was fully expecting everyone to say no, but a lot of people said yes in various forms, and I don't know if that's because of the state or the region we're in. Personally, I don't think this would have happened in my home state of New Jersey, or if it's because I'm just thinking the worst of people. And so a big takeaway that I came out with after this was, well, either people here are too nice, or I'm just not a very nice person. Going into rejection day, I was kind of nervous because this is never the kind of thing I would do. Just kind of going up to someone I don't know, asking them a question, asking them if I or if they can do something for me or something like that. But as we started going, I'll admit I was very nervous starting into it. So I was the cameraman. People aren't gonna get mad at you for asking them a question or something like that, which was interesting. In fact, they were very helpful too. I went to one retail store and I asked what the chances were of me getting hired right then and there on the spot. And the girl who was working there started listing off businesses all around the area for places I could get hired if I needed a job. I was surprised by people's kindness and generosity even when we were asking kind of ridiculous things. We went into this really fancy, like, gentleman's barber shop and everything, and waited in line, and the girl came up and asked if I had an appointment. I said no, but if I were to ask you right now to give me a haircut completely for free, is that something you would do? She was like, oh, what's the occasion? I was like, well, no occasion really, just because. She was like, yeah, I can do that, I have time. And I was like, what? She was like, yeah, that's not a problem. You'll go over to that chair over there, and I'll be with you in a minute. It was very surprising, the willingness she had to take 20 minutes out of her day when she was on break to go ahead and do something nice for free at no real cost to her. So, yeah, that was what I experienced.
Can I take it to a moment?